When it comes to leasing apartments and property management, well, there's more competition than ever before. It's more and more difficult to capture that renter's interest, to work with them, and to help them decide to rent an apartment from you. Well, there's certain ideas out there, let's call them secrets, that the real pros, the real experts, they don't want you to know. Why? They're competing with you. They want their life to be easy and your life to be more difficult. In this video, right here, right now, I'm going to share with you 7 secrets that the real leasing pros don't want you to know. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you work in property management, if you're anywhere in the zip code of the apartment industry, subscribe to this channel. It's all about you. We want to help you get better. My name is Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Leasing University, the #1 sales training system for property managers and leasing agents. Well, let's talk right now about the 7 secrets that the pros don't want you to know. Secret number 1, your renter doesn't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That old training out there has got people way too enthusiastic and way too quick to jump into talking about their property's features, their amenities, their specials, clicking away at the keyboard, checking pricing availability, before they've even had a human discussion, a one-to-one interaction, a consultative conversation with that renter. They haven't even made any attempts to truly understand that renter and to show that renter that they care about them, that they want to help them improve their life, before they suddenly start jumping into, we've got a climbing wall, we're a LEED certified building, we're 13 miles away from the tech center, when I never even asked you if you care about the tech center. Show your renters that you care about them first. Be a trusted advisor and a consultant. They don't care how much you know. They don't care how many features and amenities your property has, until they feel that you understand them. So have a system in place that helps you understand your renter, helps you understand their situation first before you even try to sell them anything. Secret number 2, stop probing your prospects. And if that sounds painful, right? If you just had a vision of like aliens abducting you and poking and prodding you and sticking instruments in you, well, that's exactly what we do far too often as property managers. As soon as we get a prospect on the phone, or as soon as we get them to visit the community, all we're doing is asking them questions in no specific order. We don't let our prospects finish that train of thought. We don't work with them to dig into what's truly going on in their life before we move on to that next question. We're literally probing our prospects, and they can feel it. When you have a very, very standardized system, here's how I communicate with my prospects. Here's the specific questions that I'm going to ask and the why behind why I'm asking these questions. And I'm going to take as much time as my prospects needs to really, really uncover their situation. And our dialogue is going to flow. Whether they rent an apartment from me or it turns out that the best home for them is somewhere else, they're going to feel like the time that I spent with them is the best time they spent working with any real estate professional. Stop probing your prospects and start being that trusted advisor that knows exactly where you're going to take the conversation from beginning to middle to end. Don't just be asking questions at random. Secret number 3, the real leasing pros, they're not afraid to challenge their prospects. Too many of us are too afraid to challenge that renter, and so we just take exactly what they're saying at face value. I'm going to share with you something. Asking those difficult questions is the best service that you can ever provide. And sometimes that means that you're going to have to challenge the renter. So when you're on that tour and all of a sudden they start complaining about the hall closet is too small, it may be time to challenge them. Phrase I like to use is, hey, Monica, let's take a step back here. Can you help me understand what's really the most important thing to you in your next apartment? If you're too afraid to challenge your prospect, they're going to get caught up on those little things. A closet, 3 stairs they've got to walk up, the fact that you don't have a balcony, and they're going to miss out on finding an apartment that gives them the big things, the thing that was most important to them. Remember, there's no perfect apartment out there. It's your job as a professional to figure out what are the things that we must have. What are the boxes that my apartment must check? And when your prospect deviates, when they start getting hung up on the little things, you need the right type of dialogue and presence to challenge them, to bring them back on track. Secret number 4. In so many apartment communities, so many leasing agents, so many property management portfolios don't have a standardized greeting. If you want to be successful, you can't treat every prospect differently. You need to have a very specific standardized greeting. What exactly do we say when we answer the phone at our apartment community? How exactly do I greet somebody when they walk into the leasing office? If you're not saying the exact same things and doing the exact same things every time you meet every prospect, no matter who they are, well, you don't have a system. You're winging it. Far too often in this industry, people don't have a standardized greeting. It's going to set the tone. It's going to set the pace. If you want to be a true professional, you need to greet every prospect the exact same way. Secret number 5, and I want you to comment below and please be honest with me if you've never thought of this one. I need you to recap your understanding of your prospect's current situation before you ever start the tour. Even if that tour is a virtual tour or an online tour, before you show them an apartment, either physically or virtually, you need to recap your understanding of their current situation. What's most important to them? Your understanding of why that's so important to them. You need to recap, hey, this is what you want to see first and why you want to see it first. Don't just start your tour without that recap. That's what professionals do. If we're off base, if there's a misunderstanding or there's something that we thought the prospects told us but we heard it incorrectly, we want to get all of that out of the way before we tour the property, before we show them an apartment. Otherwise, our entire presentation is going to be based on misinformation. If you want to close more leases, take a moment and have a standardized system for recapping your understanding of your prospect's current situation. They're going to appreciate it. You're going to be more professional. The tour's going to go better and you're going to close more leases. Secret number 6, and this is something that our certified leasing consultants at Leasing University have mastered. Everyone that goes through our training learns this and it helps them so much. You need to have a very simple system for determining what's a real objection, meaning I need to handle or address this objection in order to get the lease, and what's merely just a complaint. Far too often that old school training teaches you to overcome objections, and you end up getting in these arguments with your prospects trying to overcome everything that you think's an objection. Well, guess what? 9 out of 10 of the things that you think is an objection coming from your renter is merely just a complaint. Moving is stressful. Moving is scary. Moving affects their entire life. Of course they're going to complain. The process of moving is painful. Nobody likes doing it. So have a system that allows you to stay positive, stay professional, yet only devote your time, energy, and resources to the true objections that need to be solved. Whereas everything else is just a simple complaint, and it's human nature to complain. It's not going to stop them from signing the lease. Finally, let me leave you with this one. Secret number 7, and this is huge. You need to have a standardized system for closing the lease. Far too often, leasing agents and property managers, well, they work really, really hard to understand a prospect. They show them the apartment, and yet they have no system for what exactly do I say? What exactly do I do to close that lease, to get the yes, to get the sale, to get the apartment leased? Hope is not a strategy when it comes to leasing apartments. You need to have a very specific, very easy to learn closing system that you use on every single renter in any market that works on any type of apartment, every season of the year. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, you need to have a closing system that works so you can implement that close on every one of your prospects. If you don't know what to say and what to do to close the lease, well then you're just going to end up getting what you get. I hope these 7 tips help. Again, please, if any of this was useful for you, please give the video a like, and I would love it if you'd leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel, and if you need anything else, if you want to get better, reach out to us, and I want you to check this out. The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm going to walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm going to show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm going to show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm going to show you how to be number 1. All of a sudden, your career, it's going to make perfect sense, even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm going to show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're going to help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University.